Hey, Hometown, this is Kevin Long with the Umbrella Group, and welcome to launch week number working with buyers. Today, we're going to kind of talk about how we work with buyers, why we work with buyers, what to expect from buyers, what buyers can expect from us. So, kind of diving just into this in general on it. Buyers, most important thing we want to do before we ever show them a house, do anything like that, we need to get them pre-qualified with a lender. So we have some great folks over at Atlantic Bay Mortgage. Feel free to get them with them, or if you have another personal lender you'd like to use, we have to get people pre-qualified before we got showing them houses, knowing exactly what they're looking for, what their budget is, expectations are. We'll make sure we're very, very clear on that. And also keep in mind too, a lot of people say, hey, we want to work with sellers, or listings is how you last. I agree with that, but I also disagree. I think buyers is something we want to get to from the longevity standpoint of, a buyer today who buys a $300,000 house is going to be selling hopefully a $400,000 house 5 years from now, and buying a, $800,000 house, and that's you kind of every deal you do. In year 1 through 5 turns into two deals for each one of those ones, in years kind of 5 through 15 as people kind of grow in their houses. So treat these people right and stay in contact with them. That's how you really kind of build and grow the business. But back to getting people pre-qualified, we got no budgets. We don't want to be showing them stuff that doesn't make sense for them. So get them with the lender. Then I always recommend to get them into the office, get them here on your turf. Not saying you get to be on your turf or coffee shop, whatever it is. I think it's great to have them into the office. That's your place of work. That's your home base. Set them down. We have a buyer's guide we go through with every single buyer on our team. If you do not have one of these sort of made up yet, you need to do that. This is it saves you a ton of time on the overall grand scheme of things with buyers on that. So in this, what we kind of go over, we have a little bit about us and our team, kind of who's involved, who they could see in an appointment. What the expectations are from us and for them. So we got to be in contact, constant communication. We talk about the money portion of things, how we got to get things, make sure we know how much money we need to have for home inspections, down payments, escrows, things like that. So we want to make sure everyone's clear and on expectations across that board. Then we kind of walk them through how a real estate transaction works. I'll have Logan or someone who does tech stuff kind of put this page up so you can kind of see. We use the analogy of kind of a plane flight. You're going on a trip. You got to plan for it. You got to show up. You actually have to take off to go through the actual full transaction, and then you kind of you land. And we're going to go over that from our initial appointment to getting your search set up on here. Actually going out and looking at houses, writing offers. Then kind of once we go under contract, what to expect. We got to get your deposit turned in. We got to get the home inspections scheduled. Got your home insurance set up. Walking people through the entire process, kind of start to finish. Let them know how the loan process works, how appraisals work. That way, none of the stuff that pops up in a transaction is really a surprise. We want our clients to be in the know the entire time, and if they have been educated up front, this takes out a lot of the guesswork, a lot of the questions in the middle of the transaction where things can kind of go awry. But a lot of this comes down to just being in constant communication with our buyers, start to finish, and that goes from before once you get them into the office, they're a new lead. We get them into the office, set up on their search. We're kind of contacting them usually weekly, depending on what their goals are as far as time frames go. We want to make sure that we are staying in front of them, giving them our availability for the week or for the weekend coming up. Have you seen any houses that you like? Did you like that one I sent you on Tuesday? Did you like it, not like it? Do we need to remove it from your search, and going through actually how the search works, make sure we get that really dialed in. Talk about closing loan documents, getting final walkthroughs, closing day, sitting down, going through the actual closing procedure. We also have a whole page in here too, just talking about just the home inspection, different terms, terminology, different options we have as far as waiving inspections, not asking for repairs on a certain amount of money. These are all things we want to educate our buyers on, just kind of throughout the entire home buying process. We don't know if that's going to last with a buyer. That's going to be they're under contract on something in 2 weeks. They look at one house and they buy it. We don't know if we're going to work with these people for 7 years. We're showing them a house every 6 months for years on years on years. Some people need to go look at 20 houses in the matter of 2-3 weeks. It kind of goes across the board, but you got to be patient working with buyers. It's a grind at times, but it's very rewarding. So first time home buyers, like I said, to me, are kind of the lifeblood of the business. That's what's going to kind of get you started. And they think hey, these are small houses now, but if you're planning on being in real estate for a long time, these buyers come back again year after year. The further out you go into business, that's how you kind of build a predictable set of business. And there's a lot of people who do Zillow things like that where they're buying leads. Those are kind of the first people to leave you. But if you have a past client, they're calling you. There's no questions asked. They're not chopping between different agents or lenders or whatever it may be. They trust you for doing them right the first go around. So this is where you always kind of go above and beyond for those first timers, knowing that they're going to come back years to come. I said if you stay in contact with them, if you treat them right. So a couple pro tips: get with an agent. If you're not experienced, you got to learn from experience. You're never going to learn all this stuff in a book. In a classroom, you actually have to get out and do some things. No one's going to be able to tell you more than people who've done it more than you. So, reach out. Hometown is great about this. Feel free to reach out to me. Anyone on my team, be happy to help out. There's other great teams, leaders, mentors, brokers out there within the company. So reach out. There's always open doors around here. So that's a big thing there. Visit teams if you're not on a team. There's a lot of things a team can offer as far as experience, training, mentorship to kind of help you skip a few of those steps. So, you said especially those first couple buyers, we definitely don't want to make a giant mistake. So make sure if you're just starting out, make sure you have somebody kind of experienced that's kind of helping you, guide you along the way through those first couple deals. And they'll really teach you a lot, even if you got to give up some of your potential commission or take home on that. You want to be able to be in this business for a long time. You got to learn from the best. Reach out to some people who are a little more experienced than you. Next steps as far as what you should be doing kind of homework wise. If you do not have a buyer rep, borrow one, steal one, ask me for one. You need to create something that kind of makes sense for you on it, but we need to have something to educate our buyers on how we actually want to go through the process, how it works, and that way they're playing on your terms, not on what they've seen on HGTV. So on there, if you do have a buyer's guide, role play it with somebody. If you should not be above role play, it's great to do someone in your office. Maybe take one of those agents a little bit less experienced, role play it with them, have them be a client, and then you can turn around and do it vice versa. And then another step further, use it on a friend. If you don't have an actual buyer coming in the office here in the next week or so, try to get with a friend, family member. Do a test run with it on them, and this can kind of be a fake thing, but try to find someone who may be in the market at some point. Who do you know that's still in an apartment that you haven't caught up with in a while, or a family member or anything like that? Maybe kind of the next candidate who would be in your COI that could potentially be someone who moves. So those are my kind of tips on all of that. Get your searches dialed into. If you have 125 matches for a search for a buyer, that's entirely too many. Kind of get to know houses, go shadow stuff. As I said, give us some agents. They give definitely a lot of tips and guidance. So hope this helps out. Get out there, get some stuff done, find some buyers, ask the question, when do you plan on moving? Work that way in, whatever way feels comfortable for you. Generate some leads and turn them into a longevity career in real estate. Thanks. Have a great one. Bye.